guys, it's Christy and welcome back to the Pop-Up Couch. It is Monday and you know what? I decided last week that I really want to talk to you guys twice a week because I feel like once a week just isn't enough to get everything I want to say in. So I want to kind of stay with you guys and just check in Mondays and Fridays. Okay, and just see how you're doing. How was your weekend? How are you feeling? I hope you have some good news to share. Seriously, I'd love to hear about how, things are going. Hi, Pablo. How are you feeling? What's new? What's on the agenda? Has anything positive happened in the last time that I've seen you? Like, new changes in your life and yourself, how you're feeling? Have you made any decisions to do... Hey, Terry. Have you made any decisions for yourself to do different things than you used to do? Maybe to become a happier person, okay? Like more grateful, more thankful. You're beautiful too, girl. Thank you. I'm curious too, like how are you feeling? What do you do to get yourself to a place of feeling gratitude and happy, okay, and thankful? What do you do? Because it's different for everybody. Some of us, like me, I go to church now once a week. I really feel so humble and small in the church because I'm surrounded by people that are just there to serve and to, hey Christina, and just there to, take a little time out of their week and just ground themselves, kind of put things into perspective. So, I'm not saying that church is for everybody. It's not. But what is it that you do that kind of gets you to a place of feeling grateful and thankful? I mean, there's all different things. So just curious about that. I wanted to share with you guys something today. Honestly, I've been reading a lot of books, okay? So you're probably wondering, like, where does she come up with some of these topics? Or, like, what, are these her thoughts? Are they someone else's thoughts? So I want to say, honestly, to give you a little history, looking back when I was a kid, I always saw the world, I should say, in a glass that was half full. Always. It was spilling over, actually. My whole life, I've always felt this way. It's not something that I just decided one day. I think I've just always felt this way. So, with saying that, I've always been a positive thinker. I've always seen the silver lining in everything, always. And I don't know if that's because I was taught that. I did have some really good mentors. I had a wonderful dad growing up that always shared nice thoughts with me and told me nice things, verbally. And of course, he showed me nice things, the way he treated me and my brother and the way he treated my mom. And, so I was around my aunts and uncles a lot growing up, and they were also very good mentors. I have a friend named Lynn that I spent a lot of time with growing up. I've had lots of people show me love and respect, and I'm lucky for that. But I also grew up as a little kid until now, 41 years old, seeing the world in a beautiful way, not looking at the negative. Even things that have happened to me over the, in my life, things haven't always gone, quote unquote, my way to some people if they were looking in on, my life, but I always make the best out of my situation, okay? And that's why I want to share this with you guys. I want you to see that no matter what situation you're in, and I don't know how bad yours is, and I'm sure it's not easy sometimes with what you're dealing with, but I want you to know that there's always hope. I'm a big hope person, believer in hope, I should say. And I always believe that if you think that things will change and they'll get better, then they will. So I want to share that with you guys and also let you know that your circumstances are for you to learn something from. Things don't always go your way. And we talked last week about control. You can't control anyone, and you really can't control most things, but you can try to look at the positive in all things that come your way. Okay, just to give you a little, share a little pointer with you guys. It, again, doesn't come natural for everybody, I understand, but it is something that you can work on. Again, so back to what I've been reading. I never used to read growing up. I never understood reading. I didn't get it. I didn't feel like I needed to. And to be honest, I'm glad I didn't read back then because I experienced life. Every chance I have and had, I put myself in situations where I would gain an experience out of it. So now I feel like I have a little bit of wisdom to share with you guys because I feel like I have seen a lot, okay? But one book that I read recently, it's called The 4 Agreements. I don't know if you can see that. My friend Jackie actually gave me this book, and I really love it. It's a quick, easy read. But the four agreements, it just teaches you about basically how to live a happy, fulfilling life in just a short book. Okay, so if you're like, a lot of stuff that I talk about is in the book. I really like this book. I'm going to tell you what the four agreements are, and if you've heard of the book, that's awesome. If you haven't, maybe pick it up, just to kind of read it over and see what you think. You have that book, Terry? Of course you do. You're so smart. I love you. I want to tell you what the four agreements are. So the first agreement is be impeccable with your word, number one. Well, what does that mean? That means speak with integrity, okay? Say what you mean, all right? And use your word in the direction of love and truth. I love that, especially since I'm a words of affirmation person. I love words. I love what they mean. I also am careful about what words I use, because once you say something to someone verbally, you really can't take it back. I mean, you can say you're sorry, but you can't take it back. And words are very, very important. And if you think about nature, which is what the book talks about, in nature, hey, Paul, in nature, well, let's face it, we're the only beings that can speak verbally. So our words really are very important, and what you say to people matters. So be impeccable with your word, number one. All right, so that's the first agreement. Number two, the second agreement is don't take anything personally. Now, we talk about this a lot, taking things personally, because the truth is, no one is no one is hurting you or saying things to you or doing things to you because of you. It's something that they're dealing with inside. So try really hard, guys. If you can take one thing away from this conversation today, is don't take it personally. Don't take what people are saying or doing personally, because you don't know where they are in their journey, or what they're experiencing, what they're facing or not facing. You don't know, and it's not your job. It always ties back to, you cannot control people. You cannot control their actions. Don't try to. Try to be curious about how they're feeling. If somebody is in some state of, they're angry and they're flying off the handle, how about instead of getting angry and responding, with anger right back, how about just take a step back and go, I don't actually know what this person's dealing with. I see they're coming at me, but I don't think it's me. So let me just ask, usually it's a cry for help anyway, guys. Anger, when someone's acting out of anger, it's usually a cry for help because they're hurting. So maybe just ask, are you okay? I know you just said that to me, but I don't think you meant that. Is something else going on? What else could this mean? What else could this person be trying to tell you? Because usually it's a cry for help, honestly. And our first response is always to get right back. Like, if someone's in your face, you're going to get right back in their face, right? Because you're being defensive. But the truth is, it's not about you. So that's the second agreement. Don't take anything personally. The third agreement in the book is don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and communicate clearly. I love this. It's so true. Back to that, though. It's connected to don't take it personally. When you think about it, don't make assumptions. You don't know the whole story. So if you hear a little gossip about something or someone, and maybe your name was tied to it, do you actually know the whole story? No. So don't make assumptions. Find the courage to communicate clearly. Ask someone. Go to the source. If you heard somebody say something about you through someone else, then why not just go right to that source and say, hey, listen, I'm sure I heard this wrong, but I just wanted to just clarify something because I know you're a good person. Can you just tell me if this is what was said, or is it true? Just ask. It's okay. Instead of letting it just keep going and going and going, just confront the source. But when you confront the source, come from a place of love and acceptance, okay, and patience. Don't come at someone with anger and all that other stuff. It's easier to do that. So that's number 3. Don't make assumptions. And the fourth agreement, okay, in this book, the 4 agreements, is always do your best. But you guys know that already. I love talking about that with you, doing your best. The best is now the best changes from time to time. If you're sick, if you're tired, if you're struggling, if you're broke, the best can be different for everyone at different times, okay? But at the end of the day, always do your best. You don't have to do more than your best. Don't do less. Just do the best you can with what you have at the moment. Now, why does that help you doing your best? Because you avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. That's what it says in the book, which So that's very simple, guys. 4 things that you can do. That's what the book talks about. You can read this book in an hour. I love it, but it kind of goes into detail about those 4 things. But if you could kind of, well, not kind of, if you could get up in the morning, number 1, put your feet on the floor, be thankful for another day that you have in front of you, okay? And thankful and grateful for who's in your life still. Let's not cry about who left. Let's not cry about who's no longer here. Let's be grateful and thankful for who we still have in our day, in our life, because I'm a big believer in that too. But that goes back to positive thinking. That's who I've always been. That's who I always will be. I miss the people in my life that I've lost. I think about them often, but I don't cry about it, and I am okay with the fact that they're no longer here. And I also recognize who is still here in my life, me included, all right? So I try really hard to be grateful and thankful for who I still have in this day today. And I treat those people at the best I can all the time. Of course, we all have our things that we do and say, you know, but I try to be very aware, and I try to be very patient with the people in my life that mean a lot to me, okay? And I try to do my best as a human every day to, you know, show up to work or to my home or wherever it is I am as the best version of myself, okay? That's something that it's discipline, guys. It's not easy, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, all right? And then it just becomes natural, okay? I want to share just a few more things with you before I go. I want to talk about, success without fulfillment is failure. If you're successful and you're not happy, you're failing. Period. I don't care how big your house is. I don't care how big your beach house is. I don't care. No one cares. If you're not happy, you're not living a happy, fulfilled life. So I don't care what it looks like on the outside. I know a lot of people with a lot of things that are not happy at the end of the day. And it's a shame, because I know people just as well with very few things that are so happy with what they have. So do the math, guys. Life is short. What are you missing? What are you not doing? I can tell you right now, most people that are really unhappy with a lot of things, the first thing they're doing wrong is not sharing. They're not giving back. They're not contributing. That's why they're most of the time not fulfilled. And that goes for people with nothing also. If you have nothing and you're still looking for something from someone, you're always asking somebody for a favor, for a ride, for money, for a shoulder to cry on, again, you're not showing up the way you should be, because everyone can contribute. Everyone can give somebody a hand, somebody a ride, somebody a hug. Everybody can do nice things for others, okay? So that's big. Success without fulfillment is failure. I'm not failing. I'm happy. I'm doing the best I can with what I have, and I'm so grateful that I have what I have. Because I've had less, guys. A lot less. I've had a lot less, okay? But I'm very, very thankful, always have been, for what I've had and what I still have. And I'll share with anyone who needs help anytime. When someone asks you for a favor, if they ask you for help, if they ask you for a favor, do the best you can to help them. All right, now, does that mean be take advantage of every time somebody asks? You know, does that mean you always have to say yes? Hey, Marilyn, no. You don't always. If somebody asks you for a ride, all right, or for money, or for whatever it is, they're asking you. Number one, asking is hard, okay? It's very humbling. It's very hard to ask for anything. Has anyone on this video, has anyone watching ever had to actually ask for money? That is very hard to do. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm sure you do. There's been a time in your life where you were short money or short something and you had to ask. It's very, very hard to ask. So keep that in mind when you're walking through the city and a homeless person comes up and asks for money, or if someone from your past shows up and asks for a ride or asks for something. Keep in mind how hard it is to ask. It's very, very hard. And if you've ever had to do it, you'll understand. Maybe you haven't. Well, lucky you, but maybe someday you will. So keep that in mind when someone asks. Do your best to help. Now, I'm not saying be taken advantage of. I'm not. If the same person every week asks you for $100, that's being taken advantage of if you continue to give, okay? But you can give advice. You can pray for them, okay? You can, give them a book that maybe, hey, I have this book laying around. I think it would help you. It helped me. Here, have this. Give what you can. We all have some. Don't tell me you have nothing. You have something. Everyone has something to give. But if someone comes to you asking for help, remember how hard that is to do and do your best to help. Okay. One last thing actually two things. I want to mention, know yourself and be yourself today and every day. The sooner you start doing that, the happier you're going to be, the happier your friends and your family are going to be, your coworkers, everyone. The sooner you look at yourself, look at this body, look at it, accept it, know it, and be it. Stop being somebody else. Stop being what people think you should be, or saying what people, maybe I'll just say what people think I should say. No, say what you feel in your heart, and stop worrying about humility. Nobody's judging you. No, they're not. Don't take it personal if they do. It's not about you. And the third thing I want to talk about is, when do most people start living? It's a question. When do you think most people start living? The truth is, when do they start living? When they're facing death. True story. Do you need to face death to start living? I hope not. That sucks if that's what it takes, but if that's what it takes, well, let's not get to that point, guys. Seriously. Let's think of today again as a blessing. It's another day to do good. It's another day to do our best, so that we don't we don't beat ourselves up at the end of the day and feel regretful. Regret is the worst thing to have, number one. If you're carrying around regret, I suggest do your best today. Hey, Brenda, do your best today to let the regret go. Okay? It's come too far as it is. It's time to say goodbye to it and let it go to the past. Because today is your day to start. Start new, start fresh, show up, be the best person you can be, guys. Do the next best thing that comes your way. Hey, Jen. Do the next best thing every time it comes your way, even if it's just picking up a gum wrapper on the floor. All right? Pick it up. Seriously, pick it up. If somebody cuts you off in traffic, well, let it go. Choose not to react in a negative, angry way, because whatever's in here, in your heart, is going to come through. And it comes through in all ways. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you treat people. And the third thing, I've mentioned this before, people are watching you. People are looking up to you. People want to be around you. They do. They like your presence, and they like you the best when you're being yourself, when you're not afraid to just say what you feel and say nice things, okay, to yourself. Number one, tell yourself you're a good person. Tell yourself you're trying your best. Tell yourself that I'm going to do my best today, and I'm going to make someone else's day great. Well, that's the last thing I'm going to say. You're going to show up today. Show up not to take, but to give. Give to your spouse, give to your coworkers, give to your kids, give to your friends, give anything that you can. Show up to give, not to take, if you can help it. All right, guys? With that, I will see you Friday. As always, thank you so much. We're on the blow-up couch, still inside, guys, but definitely next month we'll be in New York, okay? I promise. We're going to be talking to some people on the street, helping them with whatever they need help with, okay? I love you. Thanks for watching.